part of it was, it's not for people to understand, it's for lawyers to understand, and for the lawyers to explain to the people what the plan means. So I think you've got this endorsement to be involved in politics. To explain to us.
I didn't have time to go into the details of Lord Bingham's book, but he sets out 8 sub-rules or principles to clarify what we mean by the rule of law. All I had time to do was just explore the key overarching ingredients of the rule of law. But his first sub-rule states the following, and it's exactly on this point that you've raised, Guglielmo. The law must be accessible and, so far as possible, intelligible, clear and predictable. Annan Plan is 9,000 pages long. It referred in various places to other documents which I couldn't find. Large parts of it weren't in the public domain on the day of the referendum. And in hindsight, had the Annan Plan passed, it would have breached the first sub-rule of Lord Bingham, which is also embodied within European Court of Human Rights case law. You see why politicians don't like us lawyers. We find little points of law to apply to absurd scenarios, and the Annan Plan was an absurd document which didn't meet this criteria of comprehensibility.
The lady now. Can you speak closer to the microphone? A little bit louder.
What happens if the UK pulls out of the UC? My second question is, if you're not a refugee but got if you're a UK citizen of Greek Cypriot origin, is your status different if and when you apply for your property or land to the IPC or elsewhere?
Can we ask this is the second question first, which is if you're a UK...
No distinction.
There's no distinction. There's no distinction for a UK. The first question is if the UK pull out of the EU. And that's not likely to happen, particularly. If the UK pulls out of the EU, what would their application will?
Let's cross the bridge already.
Yeah, I think that's... Can we now... Thank you for your questions. Can we now have... I'll definitely come to this question next. After this question, I'm going to take 2 or 3, and that's it. And I will take them all in one go. Starting now with the Apostolides.
Thank you, Costa. I'm Kyriakos Christodoulou. I'm a refugee from Agios Ambrosios, and as desperately wants to return. This has been a fantastic presentation here tonight, and I would like to first of all congratulate Mr. Apostolides and Apostolides for the spirit that they displayed to win this case. There was a mention about the spirit, and the spirit of the refugees, and the spirit of those that pursue their rights. And I think at least with what we've heard tonight, we are assured that there are avenues for us to fulfill our aspirations and to safeguard our rights. There was a point that I would like a bit of an explanation about IPC and what type of properties. It's not that I'm interested, but it's what type of properties should go there, because you mentioned properties and immovable properties. I don't know what immovable property is. Does it include, let's say, loss of income from a business? And also to Log for Cyprus, a question there that I know Log for Cyprus, I've been there, we have been campaigning for many, many years, and we've had many exchanges with the likes of Lord Halley about the right of the refugees to return. And should people go to the IPC, shouldn't we be telling people, or shouldn't we be clarifying to people that what we should be demanding is restitution of our rights, and also compensation for loss of use and enjoyment, and not for compensation. Because, as Mr. Apostolides says, it is our place that we want back, our homes that we want back, because that is what it's all about. Thank you very much.
And can I ask Nick to answer the second question? That's the first question about the definition of immovable and movable property.
myself at the age of 5, sitting on a chair that we had at home. I'm claiming the chair. That's movable. That's movable. I'm claiming that.
Nick, second question.
If I understood Gigago's question correctly, and I'm not sure that I did, because I might get to repeat it. The question was what type of compensation should we, what type of remedy should we be looking for from Property Commission? It's a very good question, because if what you're looking for is compensation for loss of use, then that is definitely something worth applying for. Just to remind you, the Lois Idle case, she got damages for loss of use, so she still retained her property, but she was given damages for the time that she wasn't allowed to use her property. I think if you apply for loss of use, I think it's a good thing, and I think I can't see why you shouldn't get damages for that. You know, it seems to me they're giving you money just for turning up, and that can't be a bad thing. I think people should apply for restitution. Personally, I mean, if you've got something and you want it back, you should apply to it. But I think Constantis is right. We should sort of wait just to see how the land lies before formulating too many of these claims, because you might find yourself applying for restitution and then getting told, well, actually, we're not going to restore it because there's someone from Eastern Europe living in there, and they've got better human rights than you. And so we'll just give you compensation for loss of ownership. I think if you ask for loss of use and restitution, that is probably the right combination. But I think when you ask for restitution, you should be absolutely clear what the options are. I'm not sure of the process, but I think you can withdraw your application if it looks as if the remedy you're going to be offered is not what you want. If that's correct, then I don't see why you shouldn't go for loss of use and restitution. And then if they don't offer you restitution, you just withdraw it and then say it's an ineffective remedy. I've tried, it's ineffective, I'm going to European Court of Human Rights, thank you very much. That's what I'll do.
So let's make a very quick point. Everybody is entitled to the protection of the rule of law, including the settlers, including the soldiers of Turkey in the occupied area. Everybody is entitled to the protection of the rule of law. It's just that in the detail of its application, some people may be entitled to its protection differently in certain circumstances. But if it comes to a day when we have a settlement and some of the settlers are asked to go, I would argue in favour of those settlers who are asked to go to have a right to challenge the legality of the decision to remove them. And there should be a proper mechanism in place for those settlers to challenge the legality. We can't have a situation in Cyprus where only Greek Cypriots have human rights and others don't. The long-term effect may result in some people going, some settlers going, but they are entitled to as much protection under the due process of law as a Greek Cypriot. And by the same token, I would add that Turkish Cypriots who have property in Bafos and Larnaca and all the other villages scattered around the free areas of the Republic, they have human rights too, and I would uphold their rights equally. We shouldn't treat this as a Greek Cypriot, Turkish Cypriot issue. That's what's been the bane of the past that's brought us to this difficulty. We live in a multicultural country in England where it doesn't matter whether you're Greek Cypriot in origin, or German in origin, or Egyptian in origin, it doesn't matter, you can reach the top. Our Lord Chief Justice here in England is the grandson of Sephardic Jews from Alexandria. Let me rephrase that. Our senior law lord, Lord Phillips, is the grandson of Sephardic Jews from Alexandria. Our Lord Chief Justice was born in Malta, of a Maltese mother and an English father. We can reach the top here, irrespective of our background. We are entitled to the protection of the law, irrespective of our background. And the problem with Cyprus, and I can just say this, the problem with the bizonal, bicommunal concept is that it perpetuates the them and us mentality, and it's potentially destructive. And I call on everybody in this room to cherish this equality under the law principle that we have in England by and large. We need it to be applied in Cyprus.